Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to decode the entire AI ecosystem. And the best way to do that is to look at it like a technology stack. We're going to start from the bare metal, the silicon, and build our way all the way up to the apps you and I use every single day.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've got 5 key layers to our AI stack. This is basically our roadmap, right? It's going to show us exactly how this incredible tech gets built, how it gets out into the world, and maybe most importantly, the big challenges it's running into at every single step.
All right, first up, the foundation. We have to start at the very bottom with the physical stuff. I'm talking about the chips that do the heavy lifting and the sheer power needed to run them. Because let's be real, without these two things, none of the AI magic we hear about is even possible. It all starts here.
And when we talk about this foundation, we are really talking about one company, NVIDIA. I mean, just look at this. They control a staggering 86% of the entire AI chip market. That is just wild. To put that into perspective, their AI revenue this year, over $49 billion. It's an absolutely astonishing level of dominance in a critical industry.
Okay, so you have all these powerful chips. What do they need? A ton of power. I mean, an absolutely insatiable amount of energy. The numbers here are kind of mind-blowing. These data centers, the giant buildings that house all this hardware, they're projected to eat up 12% of all U.S. electricity by 2028. We're talking about nearly tripling their consumption in just 5 years. That's a huge deal.
But it's not all smooth sailing. This foundation is actually showing some serious cracks. For one, you've got major manufacturing bottlenecks. Key players are running way below capacity. Then there's the yield problem, getting the chips right. Some of these next-gen processes, they're seeing failure rates as high as 90%. That's crazy. And to top it all off, you've got this massive geopolitical chess match playing out over who can even build, buy, and sell these chips. So yeah, things are tense.
Okay, let's move up one level in our stack. If chips and power are the foundation, what's next? The fuel. And that fuel is data. We're talking about just unimaginable amounts of information that these AI models need to learn. But it's not just about the data itself, it's also about the brand new rulebook that's being written in real time to govern it. And boy, did the battle over data just have a bombshell moment. We're talking about a historic settlement where Anthropic agreed to pay out $1.5 billion. Why? Because they allegedly used pirated books from online shadow libraries to train their models. This isn't just a big fine. It's the single largest copyright recovery in U.S. history. A massive deal.
So what's really interesting here is that this sets up a whole new legal battlefield. The Anthropic case was pretty straightforward, right? It was about how they got the data, and the answer was illegally. But then you have this other ruling, Thomson Reuters v. Ross, which was about something different. It was about how legally obtained data was used. So now, AI companies are facing this new two-part test. It's not enough to justify how you use the data. You first have to prove you got it legally in the first place.
And it's not just the courts. Governments all over the world are jumping in and writing new rules of the road. You've got the EU demanding that companies be totally transparent about their training data. China just rolled out a new law this month. Every piece of AI-generated content has to be labeled. And then you have places like India saying, hey, our user data has to stay here, which completely changes the game for training models. The key takeaway? The Wild West days of data scraping are definitely coming to an end. All right, so we've got our foundation and we've got our fuel. Now it's time to talk about the engines. This is the heart of the AI stack, right? These are the huge, powerful foundation models, and a whole new generation of them have literally just been released in the last few weeks. And man, this slide just says it all. The competition is absolutely fierce right now. You've got OpenAI dropping GPT-5 with a price point that is just designed to undercut everyone. Meanwhile, Anthropic's new Claude model is a beast at coding, setting a whole new bar. And then there's Meta, who just decided to triple down on open source and release their massive Llama 3.2 model for free. This is a full-blown arms race, no question. But here's the catch. Building one of these engines, it's astronomically expensive. We're hearing that a single training run for a model like GPT-5 could cost up to $2.5 billion. That's for one training run. And it's not getting cheaper. According to Epic AI, the costs for these top-tier models are doubling every 8 months. The price of staying at the cutting edge is just staggering.
Okay, now we're at the top of the stack.
This is the part you and I actually see and touch. This is where all that complicated stuff, the chips, the data, the giant models finally becomes a real-world experience. And it's happening through a total flood of new apps that are popping up literally everywhere.
Seriously, the pace is just insane. I mean, just look at this timeline. This is all from the first 9 days of September. OpenAI is coming for LinkedIn with an AI jobs platform. You can now talk to an AI shopping stylist from Ralph Lauren. And on the business side, AI is being baked right into the core of software for things like cybersecurity and building apps. It's happening so fast, and this is why you're seeing numbers like this. Globally, 78% of organizations are now using AI in at least one part of their business. That's a huge jump. And you know what they say, follow the money. Venture capital is pouring in, a record-breaking $116 billion invested in AI startups in just the first 6 months of this year. The gold rush is on. And let's be clear, this isn't just about fun chatbots or apps that make cool pictures. We're talking about AI getting deeply embedded into the most critical parts of our society. Think about healthcare, where it's helping doctors spot tumors with over 91% accuracy. Or education, where millions of dollars are being spent to get teachers up to speed. And in finance, well, nearly 2/3 of companies are already using it for their core financial planning. This is the real deal. So, there you have it. We've built our whole stack, from the silicon at the bottom to the apps at the top. But there's one final layer we have to talk about, and this one isn't about technology at all. It's about the stakes. It's about the immense risks and rewards that come with unleashing all this power on the world.
And on the risk side, wow, the threats are not just growing, they're growing exponentially. Get this, a 704% increase in deepfake attacks on identity verification systems. That's led to hundreds of millions in fraud losses already this year. It's a stark reminder, right? The same incredible tools that can create amazing things can also be used to deceive on a massive scale. But even as the risks are skyrocketing, we're also starting to see the first real signs of the industry, well, growing up. I mean, something pretty unprecedented happened. Rival companies, OpenAI and Anthropic, are actually working together now, red teaming each other's models to find safety blind spots. That's huge. And we're also seeing some really innovative ideas, like constitutional AI, which is basically an attempt to build ethical principles right into the models themselves so they can self-govern. So there is some hope. And really, that brings us to the biggest challenge of all. As we keep building this AI stack higher and higher, layer by powerful layer, the one question that looms over everything is this. How do we make sure we build guardrails that are actually strong enough to hold it all up? How do we ensure this entire incredible structure is ultimately built on a foundation of safety and trust?